What's going on with the Chattanooga real estate market? Today I'm going to talk about what the market has been doing since the beginning of the year and also what to expect over the next few months. And if you're looking to sell your Chattanooga house now, you want to understand what the market is doing so you know what strategies to use to get your home sold. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on. So the biggest thing that I've noticed is that the inventory has increased to a 10-year high. So right now, our inventory level is the same as what it was in 2016. And this has happened over the past year. So about a year ago, I noticed that inventory started to stack up. I noticed that the spring buying season was slow. And that has continued just since this time last year, and it's continuing right now. So it is something that you want to pay attention to because rising inventory typically means prices will decrease. It typically means that houses take longer to sell. So it is definitely something you want to pay attention to because it means the market is probably changing at this point. So since the inventory has increased, buyers have a lot more options and they're taking their time. Like right now, for a lot of listings, they're staying on the market longer than what they did a year ago or especially 2 years ago. And buyers are being a lot more conscientious about what they're making offers on. So we've also seen a lot more price cuts. If you just go on Zillow, and start looking at properties in Chattanooga, you'll notice there's a lot of properties in good areas that are having price cuts. Now, another thing I've noticed just since last year is sellers have been delisting their properties. So there's been an increase in sellers delisting their properties, which means that sellers or many sellers are not allowing their properties to go all the way through the listing period, and they are canceling their listing before it actually expires. And the reason is that many sellers have just decided that, hey, if I can't get my price right now, I'm just going to take it off the market and wait until things are different. Now, the days on market, that has increased, along with the inventory that typically goes hand in hand. So you want to consider that. So it's taking longer to sell properties right now because the inventory is higher. So you want to take that in consideration whenever you are looking to sell your Chattanooga house now. We also have noticed a decrease in buyer demand. Now, this is actually a national trend. So nationally, the buyer demand is at about a 30-year low right now. However, Chattanooga, it's not the same. We still have good buyer demand, but it has decreased over the past year. And really, the thing is that for a lot of buyers, houses are no longer affordable. Like it's very difficult for the person on an average salary to go and buy the average house. So that has caused a lot of buyers to pull back, and they feel fatigued. They feel like they just can't, get what they want, and it's caused them to pull back. So now you kind of have a market where buyers have pulled back and sellers have pulled back. So now, what's going to happen? We'll have to see. The other thing to consider that goes along with this is the interest rates have been about the same over the past 3.5 years. It's fluctuated between about 6 and 7%. And a lot of buyers have really wanted the interest rate to change, so that they can afford the house that they want. However, it's still stayed within the range that is, that makes houses unaffordable for a lot of people. Now, the other thing with that is that homeowners that have low interest rates, a lot of them actually are not motivated to sell, because they would have to go and sell their house and then get a loan with an interest rate that might be twice of what they have right now, which means they couldn't even buy the equivalent house of what they're already living in. So instead of upsizing, they're downsizing. So that's been also something that sellers have had to consider, and also a reason that many sellers have decided to stay on the sidelines right now unless they absolutely have to sell. So another thing to consider is we've seen more inflation recently, and many times when inflation goes up, mortgage rates will also go up. It doesn't necessarily mean that's going to happen, but there is a correlation. So it does increase that chance. So if we see more inflation and mortgage rates go up, what happens? Well, houses are even less affordable. So it's another thing to consider. We have to just kind of wait and see what happens with that, just within the next few months or till the end of the year. Okay, so let's talk about some of the stats on the Chattanooga MLS and how that's relevant to what we've got going on here. So right now, the median sale price in Chattanooga is still close to a record high. So our all-time high was last December in 2025 of 359,000. So right now, in May of 2026, the median sale price in Chattanooga is 340,000. So you might be thinking, well, if I want to sell my Chattanooga house now, well, what do I do? I mean, prices are starting to come down. What does that mean? Well, the good thing is prices are still very high compared to what they were even 5 to 10 years ago. So you can still sell your house now. You still have a window of opportunity to sell your Chattanooga house now and still get a good price. So you just want to consider that the trend that we see going on, the trend that's been going on for the past 1 to 2 years right now, especially the past year, is the increase in inventory and the increase in days on market. So right now, for both of those things, for inventory and days on market, both of those two metrics are at 2016 levels. So you want to take that in consideration. Now, in terms of the number of homes sold in Chattanooga, just since this year, or even since this time last year, has stayed about the same. So that has been very consistent in Chattanooga, even though the inventory has risen, and even though houses are taking longer to sell, they're still selling. That's really the main thing that you want to consider. So yes, you can list your house and sell it and still get a good price. So what do we do with all this? What does all this mean? Well, I think we want to consider that what's going on with inventory and with price. Increased inventory means buyers have a lot more choices. So you have to have a solid marketing plan. You have to make sure that your house stands out. You have to price your house to sell, because if you don't, it'll probably sit there even longer than what you want. I think buyer demand will also probably continue to decrease because of the unaffordability. I think the only thing that will change that is we see much lower interest rates. So we haven't seen that at this point, but I think that will be the main thing that would cause buyer demand to increase, because now buyer demand is decreasing. It's going in the other direction. So and that will probably continue because houses are unaffordable for a lot of people. And because of all this, sellers will need more creative ways to sell their house. So if you want to sell your Chattanooga house now, you will need more creative strategies to sell your house and to have more options and to be able to get your best price and also sell in the shortest amount of time possible. We specialize in helping you sell your Chattanooga house now. So we have the strategies and the resources to help you do that. If you need some help with that, reach out to us and let us know. You can go to our website at sellnowhomesolutions.com and fill out an information form, reach out to us, and we will call you back and let you know what we can do to help.